Hi guys, hello, welcome to the THQ Podcast. Now, we are actually on a podcast and we're not like commenting on a rugby game with our new little microphones. But what I've done today, so we're back interviewing today and I'm going to interview Duncan. Duncan's been a leek member from when we started, and today's conversation is all going to be about being the fittest he's ever been over 50, because I think it's very important that we obviously still do train for as long as we possibly can, and it is definitely possible to be the fittest you've ever been in 50 as well, because to me it's like obviously it helps with back problems, helps with sleep problems, helps with joint problems, and it's like something that really I think just reduces the aging process. And if we can get sort of our heads around that, and then obviously till we was having a conversation before, it was like, yes, it is harder to build muscle, but it's not harder to be fit. So hopefully Duncan is going to be able to give you an insight of how he's actually got to be able to be the fittest he has been at 50. One of the things inspired me to tell this, to do this podcast and make it sort of so it is like this, was I had a phone call from somebody inquiring about a membership in Buxton, and it was a couple of weeks ago. And this guy was sort of just after somewhere to train, and he was like, "Look, I've trained for years, and I just want somewhere to train." And I sort of got, after the conversation, I was like, "Well, we're probably not really for you." And it was something that he said after. He just turned around and he went, "Look, I've been training since I was 16, and I'm 84 now. So thanks for your time, but I'm just after doing what I'm doing." And I thought that's like stuck with me, and that was amazing, because on the conversation you wouldn't be able to tell that he was 84. He probably, if I'd have met him, he probably wouldn't have looked 84, and he was so fixated on what he wants to do. And he was actually just moving to the area, and his first thing he wanted to do was to find a gym. So that was something that stuck by me, and that's why obviously I've seeked out Duncan, because I knew he'd mentioned that he's been the fittest he's ever been at 50 years old, and I thought that was it's a very good podcast to do. So Duncan, welcome to the podcast.
All right.
So just tell me a little bit about, like, you know, what you've done before and how you sort of got to this point now. Is you are like
I've used gyms in the past. I did a bit of rugby when I was younger, but it was getting to something where I could stick at it as well.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
It was keeping me interested. So I was getting to the stage where I was in the pub more than I was anywhere else. So we just decided, I think it was November before we started here in the January, says, "Come on, we're going to have to do something."
Yeah.
And then we'd seen this THQ advertised, and we thought, right, we'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
And then we moved,
Yeah. And you've not looked back really since, really?
No, not looked back at all.
No.
It's some days you think, oh my God, but then once you've done it,
yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah. So we spoke a little bit before the podcast about like what's like the biggest thing that you find the hardest, like building muscle. Is that something that you've sort of come to realise that it's going to be harder to do?
I've the fitness side of it now doesn't really seem anything. It's now I've dropped the weight, and it's like it's building the muscle now, and I find that so hard. I look at my nephew, he half my age,
yeah,
and he's bulking up great, and I'm putting the same in as what he is, and I'm looking at it thinking it's a bit harder for me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, because obviously as we get older, like females have a lot harder time than us, but as we get older, like our testosterone does start to drop, so it does make it a lot harder. It doesn't stop us getting fitter, and it definitely doesn't stop us building muscle. It just takes a little bit longer. So, like, what would you find? What did you do before? Like, what did you when you went to the gym before? Did you do many weights or anything like that? And if not, what's the key benefits?
It's when I'd had me knee ops and things like that. That's when I started getting back to the gym again. And I found I was trying to do more cardio because I thought that was the answer.
Yeah.
But I've learned a lot in this last 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
go on.
Yeah. So, like, I didn't really do much weights because, well, I didn't know what I was doing, to tell you the truth. So, I'd jump on a bike or I'd jump on the rower, and then I'd go on the machines, like the pull down machines and whatever, but I wouldn't do loose weights.
Yeah.
So
And that's like it obviously what a lot of us think is we have to try and start to get fitter. Whereas like it doesn't actually take that much to get fitter, does it? It obviously takes, but to sort of really get into something that you're actually, you're progressing, you're getting stronger, and you got to that really takes the time. So what's the key benefits you found to being stronger now? Like what's the?
Well, before I started here, I was due 2 operations.
Yeah.
One on my knees again, and then another one on my back.
Awesome.
Since I've built this muscle that I have got now, they've cancelled both operations.
Wow.
My back just does not affect me at all anymore, which is brilliant. My knees I still struggle with a bit now and again, especially in this colder weather.
Yeah.
But same again, the lads in the gym then, they adapt the exercises, there's something I can't do with my knees. But other than that, everything's great. But yeah, touch wood.
Yeah. So have you had any other health checks as well, or anything that's sort of?
No, I must admit, I would like to go back for another MOT because I had one before I started.
That 100% do that. 100%
Yeah.
do that. I would like to, and we'll probably post the results.
Yeah,
as well, 'cause
I will go back for another one.
Yeah.
And but it's just the fact that no trouble with my back.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero. And I'm just made up with that because I ended up having 8 months off work with me back when I was at my worst.
Yeah,
So
wow. Yeah.
that does that. It's just to get that one thing out sorted.
Yeah. So we don't just have to accept that as we're getting older, these snakes. I mean, obviously, like they're going to always be there, certain things, but we don't have to accept that they're just like they're something that's going to prevent and stop us from living a life, really, are they at all?
Oh,
If we
there was one stage in my life with me back, I thought I am jiggered, but then it's like now, it's like it's never been a problem.
Yeah. Wow. That's an amazing achievement. Like, so. Take me back to, like, you've mentioned now, we mentioned before the podcast, is obviously your routines changed a little bit, your work's gone on top and things like that. But obviously the foundations that you've built in with your food, they're still keeping it. So tell me about like what you do with your food, like, and how important that is.
The food I find quite easy because you're never hungry.
Yeah.
Because you're eating the right stuff, you can eat plenty of it. And that's the thing. It's getting your mindset into eating the right foods.
Yeah.
And you think, oh no, a plate of salad and a bit of turkey. It's not. You can do so much.
Yeah.
And it's once you get, like I do most of my week's prep on a Sunday. And that's including meals for when I get in from work, because I'm not getting in from work till 7 o'clock at night most evenings.
Yeah.
So I like something I can just chuck together.
Yeah.
And there's no limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, it's the way you cook stuff.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah, definitely. It's getting into that habit, and then if because you've got them basic habits, and you put the work in right at the start and went all into the process. Even if work has got a little bit busier now, you've still got them basic habits. You're still training 3 times a week, aren't you? That's
still training 3 times a week. I'm trying my hardest to get in the strength room.
Yeah.
At least once more a week, but I am struggling with that one a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm here 6 o'clock 3 mornings a week, and then hopefully we'll try and get 4 in this next week.
Yeah.
And see how we go.
Good. So what would you say the hardest thing it has been for you to sort of do over this last 12 months? Like, what would be the hardest thing you've had to master and that you've overcome?
I don't know. I wouldn't even say that. Like the routine was, it's easy.
Yeah.
Because it's enjoyable, and that's the thing. That's what is the bonus.
Yeah.
It's great. Like you turn up here at 5 to 6 in the morning, ready for your 6 o'clock session. Everybody's shattered.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat, but we're all ripping the pee out of each other's.
Yeah.
Whoever's last one in gets it.
Yeah.
And it's normally Jane Heath actually.
Yeah.
So. But we have a good laugh.
Yeah.
And we take the mick out of each other on the weights, and that's some of the women that are lifting good weight as well. So you can't go down a weight then.
Yeah. So, what would you say to someone that's like, oh, they think they're too old to try and get in shape, or they think that this THQ is like full of young people, or it's not? What would you say to someone like?
It's not. These people young, these people a bit older like me, and then these people even older than me. But everybody puts it in, and you get out of it what you put in.
Yeah. 100%.
And but because everything, like one, you've got your routines changing every month.
Yeah.
And that keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
It's like this week, it's nearly killed me. But I know the first week of every month is like that.
Yeah.
But then it's just getting that adjusted, and then you're back into it.
Yeah. And some of the movements, obviously, that we've had to adapt in, like you said, for past injuries, and now we've done it. How's that been? So have you been, when you first come in your back, you was a bit worried about your back. What was the sort of exercises that you had to change, and now you probably can do, I presume?
I was getting lighter on a lot of stuff, just to protect it a bit first. I still do on my knees.
Yeah.
And I'm not that, I struggle with one or two lunges and stuff when it's single legs type thing going forward. But then we just adapt it. As long as my feet are flat on the floor, I can squat. I can, Romanian deadlifts, the like, just so I'm firm on the floor. It's when I'm trying to step forward or backwards. That's when I've got a bit of weakness there still.
Yeah.
But they're coming on as well now.
Yeah.
You notice the difference, and they're getting stronger, and hopefully that'll improve as well.
100%. Oh, it sounds like it obviously already has, really, and everything that's sort of done its job, definitely.
Yes.
So, like, one point that I sort of want to end on is like how you've managed to, obviously, you've changed a lot of things coming in, but obviously you keep a lot of good habits like going out and drinking and socialising as well, and that's if you get that balance. So it's like, what would you say, like one thing that someone has to do discipline-wise in the week, but then to be able to still enjoy a few beers at weekend and still enjoy it?
The simple thing that I try to do is eat clean all week.
Yeah.
I don't drink in the week.
Yeah. Good habit.
And then if a Saturday and a Sunday I'll have a few pints. If I go up watch the rugby, or like this weekend we've got a mate's birthday do. We'll be having I'll be having a few beers.
Yeah.
But it's you've not got to drop everything.
No.
When I first started, I did just under 3 months off the beer.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. Wasn't because I've got to. It's because I knew I'd been drinking too much beforehand.
Yeah.
It was enjoying the pub company a bit too much.
Yeah.
But I still do it. Not as often.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a great lesson, because that's obviously what we promote at the start. Just go all into the process, understand the process, make sure that you actually see the results, and then cutting out drink was perfect for 3 months, and then you built them habits, and you can bring it back in and make it more flexible and be the fittest you've ever been.
It is I can. It's so easy now to maintain.
Yeah.
It's once you've dropped it. Like I'm actually now from the first shoot we did, I'm a stone heavier now.
Right. Yeah.
But you wouldn't know. You
just make it look.
Yeah.
Because you built
because it's now in proportion rather than a big gut hanging out here sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it is so much easier to maintain now.
Yeah.
I remember you saying this when we first started, and I thought, what a load of. But
Yeah.
You knew, and I didn't think I'd ever get there, but I am getting there.
Good. That's awesome. I think this definitely obviously gives people a good perspective of it. So thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure, mate.
Yeah,
no problem.
Come on.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys. So if there's any more topics you want me to cover on the podcast, just let me know. But until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.